Hello, third grade, and welcome to another day of e-learning. I wanted to go over um, the lesson that we had you do yesterday. So if you'd be so kind, please, is to turn in your Go Math books to page 637. And on page 637, we're actually going to be working backwards. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just say, for example, that I have a shape right here, and we already know what the lengths of the sides are. Let's just say we've got this rectangle, and we've used this example here a few times where we have 3 inches, and let's just say we've got 5 inches right here, and 3 inches right here, and another 5 inches right here. And so if we were going to find the perimeter, and remember, perimeter is the distance around an object on the outside, all that we would do is just add the sides up. So we would have 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5. Add all that up, and we would have a perimeter of 16 inches. All right. What we're actually going to be doing in the next part of this lesson is, what would you do if you were given the perimeter ahead of time and you had to come and find one of these sides that you didn't know? Okay. So let's take a look with an easy example, and then go into some of the examples that were there in the book. Let's just say, for example, I have a shape, and I have no idea how this is going to work out, but a shape maybe that looks something like this. All right. And I said that the perimeter was going to be, I don't know, 30. All right. So you know ahead of time that the perimeter is 30. So whatever this side is, all right, let's just say that this side right here, we know that the length of this side is we know that that is 7 inches. And we also know that this side right here, let's go ahead and make that green. We know that that side right there is, I don't know, 3 inches. And we take a look at this line right here, and we'll go ahead and change that color to purple. And let's just say, for example, that the length of that side is, let's see, it's a little bit longer than this one right here. Let's go ahead and go 9 inches. And then this side right here, all right, this line right here, we don't know what that is. All right, so we're going to assign that a variable. And a variable is what we use if we don't know what the actual number is. A variable can be a symbol. Typically, it is a letter. And with algebra, there's certain letters that we like to use. All right, X is one of them, and it's kind of like a cursive-looking X. Y is another common variable. Z is a variable, and we like to put a line through the Z, because a Z and a 2 for some people can be very, very easily confused. And so Are you looking at this? Is this a Z and a 2 and a Z? Is it 22? Is it ZZ? It's not until after you put a line through there that you're like, oh, that's a Z and that is a 2. So small thing that will help you out as you get older. Other variables include t. We'll use t if we're trying to find the time for something. An L, cursive L for length. And h for height. And then sometimes even we'll use a W. So these are common variables. All right. And like I said, a variable could be any shape or number, but typically these are the variables that are most common when we are working with algebra. Okay. So let's take all of this right here and move it over here out of our way. So what do we have here? Well, we know that we have a 3, all right, and we have a 7, and we have a 9, and then we have this variable, x. All right, we don't know what it is, but we do know that this whole thing added up. This whole thing added up is equal to 30. All right, so how do we find this missing side? A lot of examples in the book that show you how you can do this, and to be honest with you, I think that the arrows were a little bit confusing. So what I would suggest is this. Add up what you know. All right. So we knew the 3, the 7, and the 9. All right. And we'll go ahead and add that up and say, we get 19 with this. Okay. So 19 plus whatever this side is right here, we don't know what it is going to be equal to 30. Well, how in the world are we supposed to find that then? Well, think about it kind of like a math problem. 19 plus what number is equal to 30? All that we need to do is subtract 19 from both sides. All right, so we're going to subtract 19 here. All right, and we end up getting 11. All right. And when we subtract 19 right here, all right, we get nothing. All right, it's just zeroed out. So we just imagine that, it's not even there. All right, and then we have x that's left over here. So knowing that this right here is now nothing, empty, all right, we can then just say that this unknown side, x, is equal to 11. All right, so that's 11 right up here. Well, how do I know that for sure? Well, you can go back and add up the numbers. All right, what do we get when we add 3 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11? Does that equal 30? All right. Does that equal? So we'll put a question mark here and see. All right. Well, I got some good compatible numbers here. Some numbers that add up to some numbers that are equal or pretty easy to add. So the 3 and the 7, that's a 10. Adding that to a 9 and an 11, well, that's 20. And yes, 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. All right, so it does check out. Okay, so it's not a question anymore, it is for sure. All right, but in this question, it would ask, what is the variable? What is the missing side? And the missing side here would be 11 inches.